Hello everybody, today we will talk about genetics and today's theme. Our theme is interesting facts about genetics, DNA. Let's start. On our lesson we have learning adjectives and there are 3 of them. I hope that our lesson will be interesting as it's planned. Before doing the listening task, let's look at these words and can you guess what about will be the text? The first, characteristics, genes, genetics, cells, DNA, and the last one, chromosomes. Chromosomes. Can you tell me, do you know the meanings of these words or translation, or how are these words related to today's topic? Okay, let's continue. Now we'll listen video about genetics or genes. So before listening, I'll ask you to listen carefully and attentively because after this video, after this listening task, we will do some tasks. So let's begin.
A world without disease. If you could change something about yourself, what would it be? Perhaps you'd like the ability to run the fastest or learn languages more quickly. How about living longer? A lot of these characteristics come from your genes, the information in your body that has been passed on from your parents to you. Some, though, come from the environment you were brought up in. Unfortunately, we can also inherit diseases from our parents' genes. But all that might change soon, thanks to the science of genetics and, more specifically, gene editing. Your body is made up of trillions of cells. Inside each cell, you have 46 chromosomes, 23 from your mother and 23 from your father. Chromosomes are made up of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. A gene is a short section of DNA that determines a characteristic, like how curly your hair is or the size of your ears. Genes that don't function properly can cause disease. By removing or replacing the faulty genes in an unborn child, scientists might be able to prevent a disease before it develops. This is called gene editing or genetic engineering. Gene editing could mean the end to life-threatening illnesses like cancer or heart disease. It could also mean that we will be able to select characteristics for our unborn children. Parents may in the future get to choose how strong a child will be or whether they have brown or green eyes. There is a lot of debate about the rights and wrongs of creating designer babies, but the benefits of gene editing are clear. A world without disease.
Yeah, we have after listening task. Sorry. Okay. Read the sentences and decide if they're true, false, or doesn't say. The first, cells have chromosomes from both parents. So you can choose any of these answers. How do you think? Is it true or false? I choose true. Not all our characteristics come from our genes. Again. These cannot be passed on through genes. Okay. The writer of the article is in favor of designer babies. Genetically modified food is better than normal food. Genetic engineering may stop heart disease. Okay. Genes sometimes don't work correctly. The last one, a gene is made up of DNA. Here we have some self-study work on vocabulary. You can also find this exercise or tasks on your student's book on page number 9. For this task, I use app Learning Apps. There are 3 different tasks. The first task, number 3, will be relating to the verbs and some words from the text. So you need to choose one appropriate words and make up right sentences. In this way, you can choose any of these answers. Right answer. Okay, here we can check our task. In task number 4, you need to match the words from one column to the another one. Okay, you need to make collocations. Okay. Finally, you need to do some right collocations. After matching these words, in task B, you need to use these collocations and make up right sentences in this way. Okay. Okay, thank you. Now, again, for this task, I will give you some time after the lesson. You will finish it and please send me for checking. Now let's revise some grammar comparison of adverbs, and now please look at the examples and tell me what is the difference between these sentences. What's a comparison of adverbs, how we make adverbs, and how we compare it between each other. The first sentence, Ayjan arrived later than her sister. It's a comparative because we have in this sentence the word later. If you remember the structure, here we add er suffix to the word, and we have then, and it's a comparative form. The meaning of the sentence is that her sister came earlier than Ayjan. It's a comparative form. The next, Dan ate his dinner more quickly than Tom. Gulnara sings better than Asil. So it's all these 4 sentences are used comparative form of adverbs. What about superlative? The last 4 sentences are superlative form of adverbs. So if you have one syllable, we will use er for comparative and the est for superlative form. If you have more than 2 syllables, you need to use the word most. The word best, we have only 1 syllable. That's why we use the best. We use the and the best. Okay. Also remember, we have some words which are not used as usual. They have their own forms like good, better, the best, or bad, worse, the worst. They need to use er for 1 syllable or the most for 2 or more syllables. Okay. Our lesson is over. I think that our lesson was productive. For home task, I'll give you exercise 5 on page 9, and you have to do this task orally. Have a good day. Thank you for your attention.